So the system is finally finished. System specs are, of course, 7900X, which is a 12-core, 24-thread processor. It's a B650EF ASUS gaming Wi-Fi board. Same video card. That's the biggest upgrade. Is the AIO, which is a 420, I believe. The RAM's only 5600, but I've managed to get it to overclock up to, I've got it set to 6000, and it seems to be running fine. I've done some basic overclocking tests. Yeah, nothing really. I've not had that. The only headache I've had with this system is the pump. Basically, I had to reseat it 3 times. Because I used to think this, you can't really see it, the little clips on the bottom, as you can see here, I used to think that was a good system. I don't like that system at all because they don't clip on square. I'd much rather have taken the back plate off and then put screws through, put the new back plate on, and then have it that way. But there's a newer model of this called the X. This is the Corsair HI70 Elite. Is it CAPELLIX? Something like that. And it but there's an X variant where you do take the back plate off on the AM5 system. So that was a little bit perplexing. It kept overheating. I mean, this thing surged to like 100. Yeah, about 105 degrees by the time, because it kept overheating. I was like trying to figure out why it's overheating. I've got everything set. I checked everything. I went through it for about 2 nights for a couple of hours trying to figure out why it kept overheating, and it was just that the pump wasn't seated correctly. So I had to you have to put quite a lot of pressure on it to get it to actually sit perfectly. But to be honest, this thing's a bit of a monster. Obviously, other than the graphics card, which is only like a mid-range card. It goes through video editing is fantastic on it. It's a lot faster than my 3700X. So obviously it's going to be, because it's a newer generation processor. It's on, is it 5 nanometers? And it's also got 4 extra cores. So yeah, so it's all been pretty good. The only other issue I had, other than the AIO pump, was I've got 7 fans, and the Commander Pro only supports 6. So for this fan here, I've had to literally, somewhere down there, I've had to actually just attach it to one of the chassis fans headers, so on the motherboard, because I had to. No, sorry, I didn't. I had an old one of these Thermaltake, Jesus Christ, one of these Corsair kits I got, which had 3 fans, and it had another one of those kits, just like a smaller version of the Commander Pro. I think with 2 power connectors and so many RGB connectors. So I just used that, but I've managed to get it synchronized. I don't know how I've done it, but I managed to get it synchronized. Again, motherboards they are overly expensive, to be honest. But I should get a good 3-4 years out of this before I need to mess around or do anything other than maybe a GPU upgrade and possibly a power supply upgrade, only due to the fact that new GPUs draw so much more power than the old ones do. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I could have kept the 570 system and just upgraded it to a 5800X 3D. But the X CPUs on the 7000 series are coming out now. But the benchmarks on them look pretty decent, but they're a lot of money, and you're getting to the point where only the really sort of big enthusiasts really need anything like that. Really, it's I suppose it's just a preference, really. If you like that sort of stuff, if you want to go faster and faster, I guess you can. But it's going to cost you money and a substantial amount of power. And depending on where you're in the world, in the UK, the electric prices here are just ludicrous. The electric companies are getting away with murder, quite frankly. But that's another discussion. So yeah, so the system is done. I might show some lighting effects if I get the chance. Okay, so that is set to arc. And that is color pulse. And also you can change the actual other color, the pump head, I believe, as well. That is color shift. And in fact, I don't think actually I've got no, I haven't got the exhaust fan linked. So that one will not do the same as the other ones until I know there's this setting in Corsair to do that, I believe. It's color wave. All neat effects. In a couple of months, I probably won't even notice the colors, to be honest, because you kind of just take this sort of stuff for granted. That's your heartbeat, mana, iCUE, interesting. Rainbow, which is kind of an interesting effect. Rainbow wave. Sequence. Spiral rainbow, which is, I think that's what the exhaust fan is actually set to, so it does look like it's synchronizing at the moment, but it isn't. Strobing. Yeah, it's not synchronized with the other ones. Temperature. That's an interesting color, actually. And visor. And if I keep on rainbow, it looks synchronized, so at least it looks kind of neat. You can change the speed duration of the fans. And obviously you can also change the fan speeds, and I've got mine I think set to balanced at the moment, but I normally have it on. It's not loud, but it isn't the quietest, if I'm honest. But then the performance and stuff you're getting, I suppose it's not necessarily always going to be. And you can even change the direction, I believe, as well, so you can go the other way if you wish. It's kind of neat. There is a lot to it. You can also change the motherboard colorations. There's only the one, I think. Yeah, I think it's just on the actual Strix badge. My last board, you could my MSI Gaming Pro Carbon, you could actually change the there was like lighting effects all around the board. So color pulse, color shift, color warp. I know not everyone likes RGB, which is fair enough. But I don't mind it. It's pretty decent. The only thing I would say is I'd love to buy some of the Notcher fans. I think it's Notcher, or not sure. But they're ugly as sin. Their fans are so ugly, it's not even funny. Stellar performance from everything I've read and from all the reviews I've read about them, but they're ugly. And I don't know, I like a bit of lighting to some degree. It gives it a little bit more personality. But at the same time, I can sort of see other people think, oh, it looks like vomit, and it's not. But each to his own, I suppose. But if they were to release some fans with some type of lighting effects, just subtle lighting effects, you know, I've had that sweet sequence. It would be quite cool. I don't like that at all, though, the way that's flashing like that. I'll go back to watercolor. But yeah, so that is the system. Look forward to doing some gaming once I've downloaded some stuff. I've done a couple of benchmarks, a few bits and bobs like that. It's not the highest end processor, but it's more than enough for what I require when it comes to video editing. And I've just put up a quick playthrough of a part of a small area of Resident Evil 4 on Xbox. I think it's the Xbox One port on my Series X. So I've just put that up. Feel free to check that out if you wish. It's just a little bit of gameplay and a bit of commentary before the remake comes out on the 24th. So what we got, 20 days, which I'm kind of excited about. Resident Evil 4, the remake, because 2 was stellar, 3 was still decent, but there were some issues. Village was okay. Well, actually, the beginning bit of Village was awesome in the castle, and then it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of fell apart once you got past the dollhouse lady. I can't remember her name now. The game was a bit rough. But yeah, the one I'm more looking forward to is Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild sequel.